A relentless Arctic blast has descended upon northern Italy, transforming the Alps and the Dolomites into a landscape of both breathtaking beauty and extreme peril. Over the past 72 hours, record-breaking snowfall has blanketed the regions of Lombardy, Veneto, and Trentino-Alto Adige, forcing the closure of international mountain passes, disrupting the final stages of the 2026 Winter Olympic preparations, and leaving several remote villages completely isolated. According to the Italian Air Force Meteorological Service, Meteo AM, the phenomenon is the result of a Genoa cyclone, a low-pressure system forming over the Gulf of Genoa, colliding with a massive influx of polar air from Siberia. This combination has created a stuck weather pattern, dumping unprecedented amounts of snow at altitudes as low as 400 meters. In the higher reaches of the Sella Massif and Mont Blanc, local stations recorded a staggering 1.5 meters, nearly 5 feet, of fresh powder in a single 24-hour period. Meteorologists describe the event as a once-in-a-decade blizzard, characterized by sustained winds of 90 kilometers per hour, creating massive drifts that have buried first-floor windows in high-altitude resorts. The timing of the storm has presented a significant challenge for the organizers of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Games. In Cortina d'Ampezzo, the Queen of the Dolomites, the iconic Olympia della Tofana slope has been placed under lockdown. While snow is essential for winter sports, the wet nature of this specific snowfall has increased the weight on temporary Olympic structures and spectator stands. Transport routes specifically designed for athletes and media have been blocked. Our primary concern is the stability of the snowpack, stated a spokesperson for the Alpine Rescue Service. Too much snow too quickly creates a dangerous layer that can trigger massive slides with the slightest vibration. The INEVA, Interregional Association for Snow and Avalanches, has raised the alert level to 4 high out of 5 across most of the Alpine Arch. The danger is not just for backcountry skiers, but for residential areas located in historical avalanche paths. Tragically, local authorities have confirmed that emergency services are currently conducting search and rescue operations near Livigno after a spontaneous slide hit a secondary road. The Corpo Nazionale Soccorso Alpino e Speleologico, CNSAS, has deployed specialized dog units and helicopter crews, though flight operations remain severely limited due to whiteout conditions. In the small village of Sappada, residents have been without electricity for over 18 hours. Local Alpini, mountain infantry. Veterans have been working alongside civil protection volunteers to check on the elderly and ensure that wood-burning stoves are functional. We are used to snow, but not this much, this fast, says Marco Valenti, a local hotelier. It's a paradox. We prayed for snow for the ski season, and now we are praying for it to stop so we can dig ourselves out. Meanwhile, a powerful Arctic front has transformed the Lombardy region into a winter fortress, delivering record-breaking snowfall that has both bolstered and battered the ongoing 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics. While the white gold was initially welcomed by organizers facing climate-related snow shortages, the sheer intensity of the blizzard on Tuesday, February 17, 2026, has triggered severe logistical emergencies and forced high-profile competition cancellations. The heart of the storm's impact is felt in the Olympic hubs of Livigno and Bormio. The high-altitude venues, situated near the Swiss border, woke up to a landscape buried under several decimeters of fresh powder. Heavy snow and near-zero visibility forced the cancellation of the women's snowboard slopestyle final at the Livigno Snow Park. Organizers cited safety concerns as the snow slowed down riders, making it impossible to clear the massive jumps safely. The freestyle skiing aerials qualifiers were placed on an indefinite hold as ground crews fought a losing battle against the accumulation, manually shoveling the steep jumps in temperatures reaching a bone-chilling minus 29.5 degrees Celsius, minus 21.2 degrees Fahrenheit. In nearby Bormio, the men's alpine skiing events faced treacherous conditions, with the snow leading to a high number of DNFs did not finish during the slalom runs. The beauty of the fresh snow hides a lethal threat. The Italian Alpine Rescue Service has reported a spike in avalanche activity across the Lombardy Alps. Tragically, the storm has already claimed lives. At least 3 fatalities were reported in the Albosaggia municipality, located in the Sondrio province of northern Lombardy, after skiers were caught in a spontaneous slide. Authorities have kept the avalanche warning at level 4 high. The unstable snowpack, consisting of heavy fresh snow on top of older icy layers, has made backcountry skiing extremely dangerous. Regional train lines between Milan and Valtellina have seen delays due to ice accumulation and fallen trees. International routes through the Brenner Pass and toward Switzerland were temporarily throttled to allow snowplows to operate. In the city of Milan, the snowfall turned into a freezing rain/slush mix, complicating travel for thousands of Olympic fans commuting between venues. Meanwhile, the picturesque alpine town of Courmayeur, nestled at the foot of Mont Blanc, is currently facing one of its most severe winter weather events in recent history. A powerful meteorological system has dumped over 120 centimeters, nearly 4 feet, of fresh snow within a 48-hour window, effectively isolating several hamlets and pushing the region's emergency infrastructure to its limits. The snowfall began in the early hours of Monday and intensified rapidly, as a cold air mass from the North Atlantic collided with moisture-rich winds from the Mediterranean. According to Meteo 5DA, the regional weather authority for Valle d'Aosta, the intensity of the precipitation exceeded all initial forecasts. In the center of Courmayeur, snowbanks have reached heights that have completely obscured ground floor storefronts. At higher elevations, such as the Planche-Crouy and Maison-Vieille ski areas, the accumulation is even more dramatic, with drifts reported to be over 2 meters high due to wind loading. The most pressing concern for authorities is the extreme instability of the snowpack. The ANEVA, Interregional Association for Snow and Avalanches, has raised the avalanche danger to level 4, high, on the European scale. Dozens of spontaneous avalanches have been observed on the steep slopes of the Val Veni and Val Ferret. Local authorities have taken the preemptive step of closing the access roads to these valleys to prevent motorists from being trapped. In certain high-risk zones near the base of the mountains, residents in Zone A, highest risk, have been advised to relocate to lower floors or evacuate to designated community shelters. The world-renowned Skyway Monte Bianco, the cable car that reaches Point Hellbronner at 3,466 meters, has suspended operations until the weather stabilizes. Safety is our absolute priority, a spokesperson for the facility stated. With winds gusting over 100 kilometers per hour at the peaks and the need for rigorous cable de-icing, we cannot resume service until the storm passes. Local hotels, while reporting a magical atmosphere for guests, are also struggling with logistics. Fresh food supplies have been delayed, and hotel staff have been working around the clock to clear entrances and parking lots. The Corpo Nazionale Soccorso Alpino e Speleologico, CNSAS, has issued a stern warning to off-piste enthusiasts. "This is not the time for powder hunting," said a rescue coordinator. "The snow is extremely heavy and poorly bonded to the old icy crust. Any excursion outside of secured areas is life-threatening." Search and rescue helicopters are currently on standby at the l'Abbé Henri helipad in Courmayeur, waiting for a break in the clouds to conduct reconnaissance flights over isolated mountain huts. Meanwhile, a historic return from the east, Retour d'Est, weather phenomenon, has collided with an Arctic blast from the North Atlantic, plunging the French Alps into a state of atmospheric emergency. Over the past 72 hours, the departments of Savoie, Haute-Savoie, and Isère have witnessed snowfall accumulation that has shattered 20-year records, transforming world-renowned ski resorts into isolated fortresses of white. According to the latest data from Météo France, the current crisis is fueled by a low-pressure system stalled over the Gulf of Genoa. This system is pumping massive amounts of moisture toward the Alpine barrier, where it meets air temperatures as low as minus 18 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The result has been a snow dump of epic proportions. In the high-altitude sector of Val d'Isère and Tignes, weather stations recorded a staggering 160 centimeters, 5.2 feet, of fresh powder in a single 36-hour window. This is not the light, powdery snow typical of midwinter, but a heavy, wet accumulation that places immense structural stress on infrastructure and creates a hair-trigger instability in the snowpack. Reports are coming in of massive natural slides. In the Maurienne Valley, a Category 4 avalanche, large enough to destroy buildings, crossed a departmental road, luckily at a time when the route had already been closed by local gendarmes. Tragically, authorities in Les Arcs confirmed that a 34-year-old local guide was killed on Tuesday. Despite being highly experienced and equipped with an airbag and beacon, the sheer volume of the slide made rescue impossible. The Peloton de Gendarmerie de Haute Montagne, PGHM, has issued a zero-tolerance warning, stating that any person found skiing out of bounds during this red alert period will face immediate fines and potential prosecution for endangering rescue workers. The main access road to Megève and Praz-sur-Arly is currently blocked by multiple smaller mudslides and fallen trees, weighted down by heavy sleet. The SNCF, French National Railway, has suspended TGV services between Chambéry and Bourg-Saint-Maurice. Ice accumulation on the catenary lines and the risk of trees falling onto the tracks have made the journey unsafe. While the tunnel remains open, the ATMB, Autoroutes et Tunnels du Mont Blanc, has implemented a filtering system at the Passy toll gate. Trucks are being held in designated parking areas to ensure that snowplows have clear access to the steep ramps leading to the tunnel entrance. The Aiguille du Midi cable car, one of the highest in the world, has been shuttered since Monday due to winds gusting at 140 kilometers per hour at the summit. In the Oisans Valley, approximately 4,500 homes were left without electricity overnight as heavy snow snapped power lines. Technicians from Enedis are working in snowshoes and tracked vehicles to reach the damaged pylons. The prefect of the Savoy has issued a formal decree, "Stay where you are." Travelers scheduled to depart resorts this Saturday, the traditional chassé croisé or crossover day, are being advised to extend their stays or seek shelter in low-elevation transit centers. "The roads are not just difficult, they are deadly," stated the prefect. "Our priority is clearing the way for emergency services and food supplies. Leisure travel must wait."